Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the NXT Party. I am, of course, your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight, our guests, as promised, we have Colin the Cleaver, Andrew. How you doing, Colin?
Good, everybody. How we doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
This is nice. This was a nice show.
Oh, yes, it was.
Noah, the simple man, everybody. Noah Foster. Noah, were you as impressed with this show as we were?
Absolutely. We have a lot to discuss. What a loaded show.
Yeah, we're talking, of course, about NXT UK episode number 28. And we start off the show with a video package for Walter, because we know by now Walter is debuting tonight. And fucking A, man, did he debut. Before we get into the show, I want to remind everybody that we've got an episode of What's NXT coming up next week. Should be a much better show than this previous week of NXT, which was a steaming pile of horse turd. I'm just saying, if you don't know, watch our episode of What's NXT that came out yesterday, and I promise you it's more entertaining than NXT was this week. But we are talking about NXT UK, and first match we get, Dave Mastiff comes out, rumbling the camera and everything. I'm going to start with Colin. What do you think about Dave Mastiff versus Primate James Melrose?
I love Mastiff. I love the camera shake and the entrance. I love the whole, like, Vader-ish vibe I get from the guy.
Aaron Riff said the same thing. Like, me and him made that comparison that he's pretty much, like, you know, a mask away from being Vader. So
yeah, he's incredible. I mean, the dude, you know, the trading shots back and forth when Melrose goes for that vertical suplex, you know, he gets blocked, but you know, at least he attempts it. And Mastiff's a big boy. Mm-hmm. He is a big mamma jamma. So, I mean, the two senton splashes near the end, hitting with the running cannonball for the pin, that was
into the void.
It was a good opening segment. It was for a big man competition. It was a nice set to kick off the show with.
Well, the end of the match was your prototypical Mastiff match.
Yeah,
where he wins.
Yes.
I'm more interested in the beginning, but before I talk about it, Noah, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was a very nice opening. I thought Primate had a very good showing. This is actually his first single showing in NXT UK. Mm-hmm. He's had previous single showings in Defiant Wrestling with Gabriel Kidd. In fact, he's supposed to be in a tag team match with Joe Hendry at Unstoppable, which should be a fun show on February 9th. But yeah, I thought it was a nice opening contest. He brought a lot to the fight. And in the end, yes, you got the prototypical finish, Into the Void, that's what that move's called. Yep. Nice use of his body for the cover by Dave Mastiff. But I thought the opening definitely was fun to watch with the exchange telling each other, come on! But I thought it was a good match overall.
Jerry?
I like the ferociousness of both the competitors. Like, Mastiff, he tends to come off kind of calm and everything, but as the match goes on, he gets more fierce, more angry, and just more determined. And that's something I like seeing. I like seeing that transformation in him. But at the same time, Melrose, like, he super impressed me. He actually gave him a harder time in this match than I think Eddie Dennis even did in the previous matches they had. And it's the fact that they had similar styles and a similar build. It almost looked like they were just mirroring each other for a little bit there.
Yeah, except there is no mirror because Mastiff has got
maybe a fun
Primate
house
by like
about there
pounds,
those nice little fun house mirrors.
Yeah, there you go.
How much did Dave Mastiff weigh according to their metric system? 21.5 stone or something like that?
Yeah, 21.5 stone.
No idea what that means.
Well, Bush had the album 16 stones. That was actually supposed to be heavy. But yeah, like a stone's pretty
I think like stone's like 14 pounds, 14 point something.
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember. I looked it up a long time ago. And just, for some reason.
Was that back when Drew McIntyre used to be measured in stone?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think Primate looked good in this match. Not great. I think if he had been with somebody smaller than Mastiff, he probably could have looked really great in the match, even if he had lost against, let's say, another Ligero. Somebody.
Oh yeah.
But Primate, to me, his only problem is Jay Melrose. And I know you're saying, well, that's the same guy. No, that's the name. I dig the name Primate, his little nickname. But Primate doesn't go with Jay, and Primate doesn't go with Melrose either.
Yeah.
He needs another regular name, or just be Primate. The Primate.
If the Primate would be pretty cool.
Jay the Primate.
Yeah, Primate would work.
So,
especially since the tag team partner is the Wild Boar.
While we're actually on this subject, I have to ask you guys, who do you put against Mastiff at this point to even like possibly beat him?
Fucking anybody.
Huh?
Fucking anybody.
Anybody could beat Mastiff?
Maybe that's the match that Volter wins in order to get Pete Dunne.
I could see that happening, actually. Walter would be my first choice.
At this point, Walter's my first choice to win any match.
Pretty much.
Imagine the chops coming off that chest, though.
We'll get to that.
Walter versus Jaws. Walter wins.
Yeah, shit like that. So I've got many of the same notes that Colin had, except I've got where Melrose goes for this fireman's carry, and I don't know what he was going to finish with this.
Yeah.
But he collapses into a pin, and not a pin where he's pinned at Mastiff. No, Mastiff comes down on top of him and then pins him for a near fall. That was funny, I thought.
Yeah.
And those two sentons where one of them, it's not Melrose like laying down. He's on all fours. So Mastiff comes down on his back, and then he goes down another foot and a half.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the second senton, he was flat.
There were two spots that I really enjoyed that match that also were covered.
The deadlift German.
That deadlift German suplex and the Kimura lock.
I was getting there if you hadn't interrupted. But no, please.
And the Kimura lock out of
almost a Kimura lock.
Yeah,
it was like a straight arm Kimura lock. It was weird.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked almost innovative. So that's why I
didn't do him a goddamn bit of good.
No, it did not.
Why are you working over his arm? He weighs like 350 pounds. Work over his legs. But anyway,
I understand when it comes to people facing a person bigger than them, and truth be told, Primate's huge too. But Mastiff, there's nobody bigger than Mastiff at this point next to UK.
No.
It's technically Walter. But anyway, why did you not go for the legs? Take out their standing foundation, because if they can't stand, there's the last chance they can fight you.
Yep.
But yeah, Mastiff won, and I'm pretty sure I underlined his name before the match even started. Although Primate looked so good and determined at the beginning of this match that I'm like, maybe this is the underdog story. Nope.
Yep. There's the end of that story.
So up next, we get a video package sort of promo for Xia Brookside. And the only thing I got out of this was she called herself a bubbly firecracker, and I think her catchphrase is going to be "See me fly."
Yeah, see her fly next week. But, I wouldn't sleep on her. She's had some interesting matches in other promotions, Defiant type stuff like that with, like, Little Miss Roxy, her running mate right now, Lily McKenzie. I want to see her face Nicole Matthews, see what she can do with that. Heck, she's even faced Neil Dashwood. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see her debut next week, or return next week.
Colin.
I'm looking to see what she brings to the table when she comes back. Just a new face to the game again. See what she can do for the women's division there, which has been pretty decent so far. So I'm excited to see what happens out of it.
Yeah, have her face like Charlie Morgan. We haven't seen high nor tail of her for a while.
That's true.
I am personally looking forward to them building up a few new stars in the women's division.
They need it. They need
just for Jay to dispatch.
Basically, you have the two stars that came in pre-built. You've got Toni Storm and you've got Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Correct.
Outside of that, you've got people like Jenny, whose gimmick and her wardrobe, at the very least, make her stand out a little bit. Same thing with Isla Dawn.
Yeah.
Her gimmick and her wardrobe make her stand out.
She doesn't really have a gimmick.
And then you got other people that right now just lost in the shuffle. Millie McKenzie, Xia Brookside, Killer Kelly, Charlie Morgan, Nina Samuel, and a person we saw later tonight that I wouldn't be surprised she's more involved. Candy Floss too, if you want to think about that. And Gina Barraza.
Because we've seen her twice and lose twice, And the one I was thinking about was Dakota Kai, because she's kind of back and forth between NXT and NXT UK. I know she's injured, but she will come back from injury.
Yeah.
And where she goes from there.
I think she'd actually do better for herself if she actually was in NXT UK.
Yes.
So I believe so too.
But I think NXT is in desperate need of some female talent right now. So.
We got Kaylee Ray coming soon. That should be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if NXT gains a few NXT UK women.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So after this, we get Zach Gibson and James Drake. They come out for an in-ring promo. And basically, Zach Gibson said, and I said soon.
Yep.
All these things everybody said to them and said to him and whatnot, but he said soon. And he kept saying their focus was on those titles. And he's pointing to the titles that they're wearing.
Yep.
So obviously it worked out. So Noah, what do you think about Zach Gibson and James Drake? Again, James Drake really doesn't speak.
James Drake, the silent partner. Zach Gibson, the running mouth. I love the fact that as soon as they saw the name of the Titantron, before Zach and Drake even came out, what did you see, folks? Shoes up! So that seems like that's not dying anytime soon. And the key word here in this entire promo, soon! So, I mean, at least now they're using their name from Progress, Grizzled Young Vets, when they were like champs during like mid-chapter 60, early chapter 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, killer promo. They put themselves over. They put the titles over. They're trying to make the titles, those tag team titles, seem like the most important thing. I respect them right now as champs and see them holding those titles for a while. And I can't wait for their defense.
Yeah, that keyword soon comes to bite them in the ass.
Yes,
the
it does. Hard.
But before we get there, or maybe you want to take us there, Colin, what do you think about their promo?
I thought it was great. Those two as a tag team, they've come a long way since they started in the tag team tournament. I love that they officially, he said it a couple times, they have announced themselves as the Grizzled Young Veterans. He said it, I believe, twice.
Yep.
And you know, it's about time that they officially have a tag team name.
Yes.
I think they're going to take those titles make it a great thing, honestly. I mean, they're the inaugural champions. I saw them going over Mustache Mountain. Just
Me too.
It was too obvious. Pete Dunne being champion.
Yes.
You can't, we're not having the whole foundation on one faction. It's not how it's
that point.
You need to build new stars. Mustache Mountain was already established.
Yes.
But I thought it was great, and yes, let's see, who was it? Comes out.
Sid Scala.
Sid Scala.
Was it? Yeah, Sin comes out and announces Danny Burch and Lorcan will challenge soon for the NXT tag titles. So yeah, the whole soon thing come to bite them in the ass.
Well, it bites
quick.
them in the ass, but at the same time, it bites me in the ass because I want to know when it's happening.
Yeah.
I've got plans. I've got notes to take later and matches to be hyped for, and I like to know each week when we're finding out something that makes the next episode special.
Mm-hmm.
So last week when we found out Walter was going to be debuting tonight, which we're so close.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a package for that next week or something. We'll find out.
I've got one last note on this promo, but I'm going to let Jerry give his notes first.
What I like most about that promo is there's that one point where Zach even acknowledges, like, you guys can put your shoes up all you want. I'm a champ.
You took the note right out of my page, man.
I've never been a Chuck Taylor at one point.
I quoted him here, and I had the TV pause for like 3 minutes while I wrote this shit. Maybe not 3, but whatever.
Well, he's the James Bob.
Well, the crowd starts chanting because, he's talking about having the titles, and they're like, you still suck. You still suck.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to the crowd, you're not going to take this from us. So you can wave your shoes in the air like a bunch of goofs, but you will still call us. And then he says a bunch of other stuff. And I thought he was going to say the NXT Tag Team Champions, but no. Like Colin pointed out, he finally says the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yep.
We are the Grizzled Young Veterans, and we are the NXT Tag Team Champions. And yeah.
It was a statement. It was like he just put his foot down with it. And you can almost,
Yeah.
and what I like about it is the fact that James Drake, he didn't talk through the entire thing, unless you count the conversation between him and Zach Gibson, but you didn't hear what was going on with that when they got announced for a match against Birch and Lorcan. Like, they automatically, they didn't look worried as much as they're like, okay, this is gonna suck.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, they're the champs. What did they expect?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you have to defend your titles.
I thought for sure they put him against, some not really no-name team, but somebody else at least for first title, for first, match as new champions. But
Well,
if they're going to put him against Birch and Lorcan, more power
the
to
story
them.
behind it is that Birch and Lorcan are like NXT stars.
Yeah.
And they're going into
Correct.
Phoenix, and it's going to be NXT versus NXT UK versus 205 Live when it comes to the Worlds Collide tournament. But I guess for this series of 3 episodes that they're taping,
Yep.
they're going to have some NXT versus NXT UK warfare going on.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
where this
like,
tag team
oh,
match comes from. And I'm sitting here like, only Lorcan and Danny Burch have competed on NXT UK. One of them is from the UK. The other one isn't like from America. He's from Australia, I think, right?
Pointed that out when he said NXT UK.
No, maybe
Danny
no,
Burch,
Canada.
So I
Is
mean,
it Canada? Fuck, I don't know. But yeah, so whatever. Later on, we get some shit about that. But before we get there, before we get to Rhea Ripley, my favorite thing to talk about. This is probably my new favorite thing to talk about because we finally get the debut of
Walter
against Jack Stars with a Z.
Okay, let's talk about Jack Stars for a second. You look at him, like when I first saw Jack Stars in the ring, I automatically start smiling. And I think it's a sadistic smile because I know he's about to get annihilated.
I start squinting because of the light that's shining off of his shiny white ass skin. He looks like his mom was a ginger. He looks like his mom was a ginger and his dad was an albino.
He kind of reminds me of the original Caddy from Happy Gilmore. Like, if anybody, you can point that out. Like,
go back.
He's a shade darker than Whitey from Me, Myself, and Irene. So anyway, Walter comes out to his amazing public domain classical music. I don't know what the song is. I'm bound to look it up.
Symphony number 9.
Thank you, Noah.
That's why he makes the big bucks here.
We just mean a bigger goose egg. That's all we need. So Walter comes out with his the white screen behind him that gives him that silhouette, much like they did for Lars Sullivan in NXT, and I'm assuming they'll somehow do on the main roster when he finally fucking debuts, whenever the fuck that's going to be.
Yeah.
So Colin, talk about this match with us. Jack Stars versus Walter.
Well, when the crowd starts the "Walter's gonna kill you" chant right off rip, that's just music to all our ears. Yeah, I mean, it's Stars, tries to attack him 3 times. It doesn't really work out to his avail, and then out of nowhere, the chop that
heard around the world.
Seriously, it's a chop heard around the world.
It echoed, and just it had its own deal, and
On
it was
his
amazing.
white ass
And
pasty skin.
all you see is just red.
Yes.
Yep.
Just blood splotches, just where it's.
I was about to say, it's about
surface.
the same shade of red as your shirt.
And that launch up onto the apron.
Bless
just
you, Jack
like
Stars.
a little kid. Bye. Like, it was great. It was great. The crowd singing his music. I mean, it was a wonderful debut.
Without the
Power
music
bomb
being
at
on,
the
they
end.
remembered the music.
Yes. Well, they did the same thing with Fandango for the longest time.
Well, yeah, but
Yes.
his music is really catchy. It's really easy to remember.
Yeah.
Walter's, I couldn't sing it for you right now,
Mm-mm.
but the whole crowd did. I guess it only takes one here and there that know it, and everybody else goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, wicked.
I was very impressed by the debut. Yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait to see him just wipe out everybody, starting with Gallus.
Well, we'll get to that. Noah, what did you think about this match?
absolutely loved it. The chop that led to the audience seeing it again and a standing ovation. The match overall, where the crowd gave him a standing ovation. I cannot wait to see the matches brought from the other dependent promotions into NXT UK with the current roster, where he's faced the likes of Travis Banks, Tyler Bate, heck, Pete Dunne. So I cannot wait to see these matches come in the fold under the NXT UK banner. And folks, if you don't know Walter, just look up versus Tyler Bate or versus Travis Banks. Heck, versus Will Ospreay if y'all are fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's had some incredible matches. This guy's a game changer.
Jerry?
With Walter, he's already got that really cool, ominous vibe when he comes out to the ring. He's got the presence of the Undertaker. I think he really does. He goes out there. He doesn't have to say anything. Everything is just on display. The dude is very stern. Like I've already said this a couple times. He reminds me of a mix of Vladimir Kozlov and Ivan Drago in the sense that he's just there to destroy. He's not there to talk. He's not there to pander to fans in any way, shape, or form. He didn't have to. Like the sheer brutality that he executed on Jack Stars, that drop kick. What the hell was with that drop kick? He drop kicked him, and Jack Stars about flew out of the ring. So, to watch this match, and naturally the power bomb at the end. It was such a basic power bomb, and but it was so effective, and the way he did his mannerism before it, he took all the time in the world. He knew he had him exactly where he needed him. I was super duper impressed. I don't like saying duper, but I'm saying I'm super duper impressed.
Walter deserves that extension to super in your seconds, Jerry.
He deserves the duper.
Now you guys know that I'm about to come with a different slant to this.
Please do.
Because Noah mentioned that Walter, after that chop, got a standing ovation. And I beg to differ. They got a standing ovation. Because as impressed as I was by Walter, I was equally impressed with Jack Stars because he sold the fuck out of every one of those moves. Every knee to the gut, every club to the back.
That back body toss.
They're outside on the floor, and he picks him up like for a back body drop, but instead throws him forward onto the apron. And it's not that far to fall when you think about coming off of his shoulders onto the apron, but he just makes it look so fucking brutal.
Good stuff.
Just no selling at the beginning. You've got Jack coming in with all this, just a flurry of trying to hit him with something. Nothing. Just no selling. Just very stern, very serious, and then finally goes for that right, and Jack ducks, and wrong move. Bam!
Centrifugal force.
He cuts him down like a tree. And then, the drop kick that Jerry talked about, and then, because I think Jack Stars got a little bit of a flurry and then did a drop kick of his own towards the corner.
Yeah.
And then Walter kind of just goes into the corner and he looks over there like he's just waiting, and then drops him with a running drop kick that, as you said, almost takes him out of the ring. Then he picks him up. He sets him up for a power bomb. He does his pose with his arms behind his back. And he picks him up for what I call power bomb number 1. If you are on a video game creating a wrestler and you're going to give him a power bomb, it's weird because you'll have power bomb 1, 2, and then 5, 6, and 8.
Yeah.
Where did the other ones go?
Oh, no, those are unlockable.
This is power bomb 1. There is no adjective to describe it. It is just lift up and put down with your upper body, with your arms. It's not a jackknife where you just let them go. It's not a sit out where you come down with them. It's not a last ride where you do some fancy shit and pull them up further. It is a basic power bomb, and he gets the victory.
Yes.
And he makes it look devastating, but so does Jack Stars.
Yes.
Made everything he did look devastating. And if he had been doing it to a guy like, let's say Mastiff.
Yeah.
Could Mastiff sell like that?
No. That is where the term enhancement talent comes from.
I think shy of Sid Scalad, there's no other enhancement talent on the brand that sells as good as Jack Starr.
No.
So, onward, even though I don't want to stop talking about this match.
I also love just one last thing. You know when he comes to the ring and stuff, and you see him look at his opponent looking up at Walter. It's like he has no eyes; it's just pure darkness you're looking into. Like this imposing force that don't have a soul is just here to destroy you.
Oh,
I love that.
That and the lights. We didn't mention the lights. The chandelier blinking with the music.
Yeah, so they had. I guess they have the chandeliers hooked up with the lighting system. So there's a point where he gets close to the ring during his entrance, and the camera's kind of swinging around to his side, and you could see that the chandelier is flickering with his music. So I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's basic lighting for shit.
No. This was something special right there, and you caught it.
Well,
so
he is the
awesome.
Austrian anomaly, so he gets some special shit, and he keeps putting on matches like that. Keep giving him flickering lights, man. I don't give a fuck. Flickering lights are free, man. Do it. So up next we get a video cap of Jenny defeating Isla Dawn. I believe this was last episode.
Yeah.
And that is what that is. Any notes on the video package here? The video recap? No.
Isla Dawn lost. No. We still have no idea what to make of her. Moving on.
We still don't know if Isla Dawn's a heel or a face or whatever. But during the break, which is not much of a break, it's a probably commercial for the WWE Network or for WrestleMania or for Elimination Chamber or some shit like that. Yeah. During the break, we see Walter coming off of his win in the back, walking around, and Mark Coffey kind of comes out from a doorway, but is for some reason held back very quickly by referees that are just hanging out. So basically, Mark Coffey is calling out Walter, but we very quickly go from that and the refs subduing Coffey to suddenly Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner are behind Walter.
Yeah. And
they approach him, and Fabian he's like grabs him on the shoulder. You'd think it'd be a little more personal if Marcel did it, but whatever. They basically are like, we got your back, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. We got your back, bro.
We're here, dude. We're here.
Well, again, this is a shout out to their former faction, Ring Comp. And what I thought was also interesting, it was Marcel Bartel that was speaking. This is the first time we've heard him actually say anything besides, "Nay!"
Yes.
So I thought that was interesting in itself. If Ring Comp were to be formed in NXT UK, you finally would have another faction that could probably take on Dallas. And based on what we saw, it wasn't surprising that that's what they're trying to build up to.
Yeah, that's Jerry's whole deal right there. You go ahead with your...
I'm about to say, later on, we actually find out we're going to get this match next week between Walter and Mark Coffey. So basically, this is one discussion Stefan and I had on the way here, which was, what if at the end of this match, after Walter's done destroying Mark Coffey, because come on, what if the rest of Gallus comes out and attacks Walter, and Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel come out and help Walter out without him asking, naturally. But at the same time, we get that 6-man tag. We get Gallus versus what you just referred to as Ring Comp.
Ring Comp plus one.
Ring Comp plus one, since Fabian Eichner is not
Extended
one.
edition.
Yeah. But at the same time, faction warfare with that would be huge. I actually brought up the question earlier too, I think, and I had mentioned it, and Cindy actually said that she would throw British Strong Style in there too, but I think that'd be a little bit too much.
Well, eventually you're going to want Walter versus Pete Dunne for the title, so yeah.
And that'd be the only reason I would actually throw them in there, and especially if it was a War Games type environment, maybe inside the 2 rings in a steel cage.
Or maybe if they set the same approach like they did with Pete Dunne and Joe Coffey, they had British Strong Style versus Gallus. I could see Walter and his gang versus British Strong Style if Walter faces Pete Dunne for the title, because you got to imagine that's coming down the line. Another person to think about, another couple I would say, Killer Kelly. She has had former, I guess you say, connections with Ring Comp, because I know Timmy Thatcher, he's not in NXT UK. But also Alexander Wolf. He's under the WWE banner. It's not like he's doing a damn thing right now on SmackDown Live, but I'll leave that thinking for another day.
So, Colin, what do you think about Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel's offer to
extending their services?
Yeah, extending their services.
I like it. I mean, aren't they kind of going by like the European Union or something like that?
Yeah.
Those two?
They have not made it official. I don't think they have used that name themselves to call themselves that.
But I've heard Nigel kind of.
Yeah, but Nigel calls them that, and they now have matching ring gear.
With monogram initials on it, really nice.
Yes.
But, I mean, that could maybe be a faction name with 3 of them or something like that. You know what I mean? Down the line, but I like it. I think it's cool. We'll see how it plays out. We're going to need someone else for Gallus to kind of feud with, since British Strong Style has already kind of done its deal. Who else do we have? So,
well, what I like about this is that they are continuing to play on the ongoing story that Walter hasn't said shit since he's gotten here. He has not, even in his face, acknowledged pro or con to anything that has been going on,
except for that belt.
When he came, he'll come out and he'll look at the belt, but he won't look at it like, oh, I'm a heel about to wreck Pete Dunne, or like, oh, I'm a baby face really respectfully challenging you for your time. Neither.
Yeah.
He is just fucking poker face.
Yes.
My God, I'd hate to play a game of poker with that guy. So it was the same here. He didn't even acknowledge really that Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel had said anything. The only acknowledgement he made was to turn around and look at him when he felt a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So they are continuing to play him in completely neutral. He's not babyface, he's not heel yet.
Yeah.
But he's continuing to get crowd heat in a positive way because he is Walter, and he has come finally.
It kind of gave, like, the interaction between them kind of gave off the AJ Styles, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson vibe when they showed up, and so did AJ, and he said they pretty much were like, we got your back, and AJ's like, I don't need you guys, so I can handle this stuff on my own. So,
but AJ said something. Walter said nothing.
Walter said nothing, which makes it even better. So,
Noah.
What?
Oh no! He just throwing a Bullet Club symbol. He was too sweeting.
So yeah. So what I also like about this is they can, especially your booking scenario, book it, brother. Book it, brother. I really like that because if they come out and help him with Gallus, he's not really being a heel with them because he actually kind of needed the help. And if the match gets booked, a 6-man tag, he has to be in a match that he's booked into. Like, he's not choosing this match. He's just doing the match.
Yep.
So you can continue to play this through whatever the fuck we're about to see.
Yeah. I
really like that. So after that, we get our third match of 4 matches in one night. And I want to take this opportunity to say,
Here we
knew
go.
I was going to go there.
I'm the nut.
Last night on NXT, and on What's NXT, I commented on the fact that, yes, it was the show after the pay-per-view where it's the dark matches that we're going to get to see, but they had 2 matches, and no in-ring promos, no nothing. All they had were like 3 or 4 backstage interviews post-match on NXT TakeOver, and nothing else. And I'm like, look, NXT UK can put on a show with 4 matches and still have an in-ring promo. NXT, if they have 1 in-ring promo, chances are you're only getting 3 matches that night on a normal night.
Mm-hmm.
No, NXT comes out the very same week with a show with 4 matches, plus the in-ring promo with James Drake and Zach Gibson, and several backstage segments.
Yeah.
Several. Plus promos and video packages and video recaps and everything in less than an hour. Come on, NXT, you can do better, even on a post-takeover show. Just saying. So now we've got Jenny versus Casey Owens, and Casey Owens has Jobberette written all over her.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least she has a Twitter handle.
She actually had a really cool entrance and everything. That's something that struck me about it. It's very much like Shelly Martinez's one she used to have when she was with Kevin Thorne in ECW. or even before.
Well, she's known to use Jerry like psychology and humor in her matches. I mean, she has faced previous women now part of the NXT UK roster on the Indies. She's faced Kaylee Ray. She's faced Nia Samuels. Heck, she's faced even Viper. So when I saw Casey, I was like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. To my knowledge, I don't think she's faced Ginny up to this point. But I thought she had a pretty good show in this match. But Stefan, I'll let you break it down first.
I actually have a lot of notes for this match, and I'll go ahead and do those first. There's one spot where Ginny's got her in like this arm lock, and she uses her nails to just scratch up her forearm. And I'm like,
Colin's over here digging it
I
too.
guess
Like,
that's a girl match thing to do, but even in a guy's match, like I've never seen that before. Like that's genius. You're totally allowed to do that because if Bianca Belair is allowed to use that fucking hair whip, then you can totally use your nails as long as it's not eye raking.
Yeah.
Genius. Yeah. Let's see. Next note. We got Ginny with that charging Hurricane Rana. Does some shit and then catches her in the corner, flatline her into the middle turnbuckle, which you know we see a lot from guys like Seth Rollins and whatnot. Yeah. Ginny makes it look just as good, I think. It's not better or anything, but just as good every bit. Yeah. She does an abdominal stretch, again with the nails scratching across the side of the belly. Oh man, just looked painful as fuck.
Time, which was even more painful.
Now, there's a spot where Casey goes to counter. She counters a superplex attempt and kind of drops Ginny down, but she goes over the other side of the top rope and she gets this armbar over the top rope. Best spot in the match as far as Casey goes.
Yeah.
Agree.
But then she goes to the top again and she gets caught on the middle rope. Fucking Ginny comes up with this wicked kick to the side of the head, kind of knocks her cold. And then pulls her down where it kicks her feet out backwards out from under her. So now her legs are trapped in like a wishbone in the corner. And she's draped for like a middle rope draping DDT. But instead we get an X Factor. And she calls this, the makeover.
The makeover.
Yeah, because it's going to do something to your face. That's where she gets the pinfall.
Yeah, so she prompted it to happen, kind of like she did with Isla Dawn, with her own little message. This time she said, not this time, little girl, just drops her face first. Game over.
Yeah, so now that I've stolen and kept all of the high spots for myself, how'd you feel about the match, Noah?
I thought, once again, this was about building talent. We are trying to build the next contender to the NXT UK Women's Championship. At this point, it has to be Ginny. This was another strong showing for Ginny, but it was also a nice introduction to someone new to the roster. Casey Owens, she had one nice spawn here, but she also sold a lot of what Ginny was delivering. The viciousness, the aggressiveness in Ginny's nature, and overall dominance. I thought as far as how the match looked, it looked pretty well. I like also how the commentators called at one point her makeover move a fashion disaster. That was kind of a pretty fun ploy. But overall, Ginny still looks strong. You got to imagine she's going to be your next contender. And we'll see next time who Casey is used to put over next.
Now, let me tell you, speaking of the commentators, there was one point, I don't know if it was Joseph or if it was Nigel McGuinness, but one of them said that people had said about Casey that she was a few sandwiches short of a picnic.
That was Nigel.
That was Nigel.
And I'm like, is he trying to call her crazy, kind of like Nikki Cross is crazy, or is he literally trying to call her stupid? Because that's what that means. It means he's calling her stupid.
She uses humor and psychology in a lot of her matches. I mean, to kind of get the idea just from her entrance alone. So it's a matter of your own best interpretation. I mean, I would consider her goofy.
Well, there's goofy and nutty. Like Emma was a little goofy, but he's calling her stupid, like a few tacos short of a fiesta kind of thing, like. You know,
you fry short of a Happy Meal.
Yeah, like you're calling him stupid. Yeah. Just saying. Bad Nigel.
He is kind of a heel commentator, to be fair.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being a heel and just being an outright ass. That's the kind of thing we say when she actually acts stupid in the ring.
So, Colin, how long do you think it's going to be until we actually see her challenge for the NXT Women's Championship? Do you actually see it in the foreseeable future, or do you think she's got a couple more wins under her belt to actually get before she actually gets the title shot?
I see it within the foreseeable future, but also getting those wins under her belt at the same time. like leading up. You know, they're looking for prospects for people to be a contender, and she keeps having these good matches, keeps getting her wins.
Has she lost yet? I don't think she's lost yet.
No.
I don't believe so.
Not since her actual debut in NXT UK. So
you're correct. Yes. I think at this point, if you are going to build her to be the contender, the next matches I probably would book her in. Well, we already got Zara Brookside coming back. Wouldn't be surprised to see her go after her. Maybe Deonna Purrazzo too, because Deonna did face the champ. But I have to imagine by the next takeover, she's got to be your next opponent.
Well, we know who's next.
Yeah.
Rhea's next. She's gonna get her non-contractually obligated rematch. She just busted.
Well, hold on, just 1 second, because I have to talk a little bit about Jenny, because I thoroughly approve of Jenny. But like, what sold me really on her was her submission holds, like you said. But at the same time, there's one you kind of left out: the double ankle lock thing that she was doing.
Oh yeah,
because she did a lot of those. She did that and a couple like surfboard variations. She's very good at the like ground submissions and makes them look super vicious. And it's always just fun for me to watch. It's right up there with Rhea Ripley's standing cloverleaf thing she does.
I like cloverleaf, yeah.
I love that move, but like for her, all these like different variations of ankle locks and stuff that Jenny's able to pull off, I'm impressed. I really enjoy watching her pull off submission moves. Now we can go to your girl.
So the reason I was so anxious to get to the next segment is that's the one that we alluded to earlier with Rhea, my lady.
There's a reason.
This is billed as filmed earlier today. She busts in on Sid Scala and Johnny Saint, who are just sitting at a table in their office doing work. It doesn't
look like an office. It looks like a break room.
They're in the break room chillaxing. She busts in and she slams down on the table like demands. She's like, "You're talking about faction warfare. You're talking about Worlds Collide and NXT versus NXT UK." And she said, I was the inaugural NXT UK Women's Champion. I was in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. She is the best of both NXT and NXT UK.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what she said.
It's hard to actually argue with that.
Yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up. She brings up Mae Young Classic because she was in both. She says she's the best of both worlds. She's been the champ. She wants a rematch in Phoenix, and, well...
She gonna get it.
After about a 30-second debate, they can't even give it to her.
Right.
In 3 weeks.
So,
Colin, do you love Rhea Ripley too? I mean...
Yeah, I do.
It's the only question I'm gonna ask.
She's my favorite Aussie. So, yes.
Favorite Aussie.
She's been nothing but impressive.
Now here's the question.
Yes.
Is she the one that needs to get the next title shot, or should they move on and then come back to her later? Because of this whole trying to get rid of the mandatory rematch, but somehow they keep building it back in.
Yeah, they keep getting it back in. Honestly, I think I would like it to just loop around her one time, see what happens, see what she can do, and help build up more talent, and then come back around.
Yeah, because she could actually take some losses without the title on her. You know, exactly. And build up some talent,
and help try to establish a few more names, which they need.
I'm just happy to see her. I do think the belt looks damn good on her, but she doesn't need it. She's still the same Rhea.
Anything looks good on her, but that's a different story.
All right.
Stop here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with both of you there. I mean, I understood Tony's motivation, why she wants to be champ, build NXT UK brand, shows the best brand in the world. But I mean, Rhea. It's hard to argue that while she was champ, she really put forth a lot of talent, even over in defeat. So, I don't know whether or not I want this title to play a hot potato or not. Honestly, I'm just going to keep it simple and say right now, I think you want to keep it on Tony, maybe be able to do more in the U.S. brand. But we'll go from there.
So, after this, we have a tweet from Johnny Saint, something to look forward to next week. we get Mark Coffey versus Walter, as we alluded to earlier. I love that word.
Alluded.
Okay. It was funnier when I was just making fun of myself, but now I've got everybody doing it. At least funnier to me.
Key words right there, Stefan.
Funnier to me. So, I'm looking forward to this match. I actually would have preferred to see Joe Coffey first, but
Yes.
I think it's going to be a build to that, because if anything, maybe it'll be Wolfgang next, and then Joe Coffey. Or
he just takes on all of Gallus, and then all three of them attack him after he beats all three of them, and then you get the alleged 6-person tag match. Which one surprised me?
Fuck, that's going to take like 4 weeks. Fuck that.
That's why I think it'll be instant gratification. I think the Gallus will come out and attack during that match, and that'll bring out Eichner and Bartel, and then actually Johnny Saint will go tell everybody to behave themselves, and they'll all listen.
All right. So speaking of,
you gotta consider how long it's gonna be till the next takeover. I mean, so.
Well, speaking of Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel, we are on to the main event.
Yes.
We have the European Union versus Mustache Mountain. That's Trent Seven. That's Tyler Bate. And this was a hell of a fucking main event.
Oh, yes, it was.
Absolutely.
I already knew it was going to be a monster of a main event, but then I didn't realize how great it actually was going to be.
I have like a half a page of notes on this shit.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You had all the different spots from both teams, but then you also had some more innovative offense from Fabian Eichner and
Jesus Christ, that lawn dart from the corner into Fabian Eichner. That now he does a brain buster instead of just oh my god.
Tyler. That's the second time I've seen it. Still beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's start with Colin. Colin, your thoughts on this match?
It was awesome. That's like the key word of this match is awesome. I have a bunch of notes on this match.
Feel free to break down. Hey, we do a breakdown, so feel free to break down the match note by note if you like.
I have a bunch of notes on this. Like it started off strong. The crowd was hot, giving the Tyler Bate chant. Loving him. The technical between the technical.
I got it in my head. It just goes.
Yeah, just But,
whoa, Trent Seven Army.
Yeah, the crowd's just loving him. But no, I thought the technical offense between Eichner and Bartel was awesome. Those two dudes played off as a tag team that have worked together for a long time. They looked awesome, especially coming in, going against Mustache Mountain, who's been together and well established. I liked the oh God, what do we have here?
Just whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's just even just from the start to the tag, the quick tags between Eichner and Bartel.
That's tag team 101 right there.
Well, the opening of this match,
tags on that was very, very
they do their own version of tag team 101. Like the opening of this match was like, slow start to a match 101 where Bartel was going for all these rest holds, but you have the slant because Tyler Bate was getting out of and countering all these rest holds
that was entertaining in
innovative ways.
Yes.
Like just still the slow part of the match, but still having fun.
Trent Seven at one point just applauded. He was standing on the apron like you did a great job there.
My first favorite tag team move. Okay, so Eichner catches Bate with a pop-up.
Yeah.
And because I guess Bate was getting running to the ropes. Bartel goes down, does the trip thing, and he leaps over him and then gets caught by Eichner for this pop-up into what looked like it was going to be a power slam, but he turns it into like a corkscrew. What did I call this?
A corkscrew facebuster.
Yeah. Corkscrew power slam facebuster.
That's a good combination.
That like Nigel didn't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
He was flummoxed.
Yeah. I was too.
We actually had to rewind that part like 2 or 3 times just to see what was going on, because it was so quick and so fluid, and so much power out of Eichner.
And then we get their traditional moves, as I said, the lawn dart off the corner into the brain buster. But earlier we got that where Eichner holds the opponent, in this case it was Bate, in the ropes, like caught up in the ropes for the drop kick, the running basement drop kick by Bartel. This time they figured out the angle for the camera to make it look devastating.
Yes. Thank you.
Straight on. From Marcel Bartel's head down to his feet.
Let's talk real quick about Tyler Bate getting kicked in the fucking head, but like when he went for that Peter Pan thing that he usually does.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, yes.
That smack off that almost rivaled Walter's like slap earlier that evening, because you can almost hear Tyler Bates' skull like cracking on it.
Yeah, there were a lot of near falls at the end of this match that made me think that I was wrong, that Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner were actually going to win this match, but that did not happen. But there was one, what was it? I think we got a near fall off of that, the kick to the face off that Peter Pan off the ropes. Yeah. That's what we call it, because he looks like he's trying to fly with his head down.
Back to Neverland.
Yeah, knocked him right back to Neverland. And then we had Bate go for a suicide dive to Bartel, and inside the ring we had Seven with a ripcord lariat near fall. And then the next near fall was Eichner does a spine buster to Seven, and Bartel comes off with that soccer kick. They never get a fall out of that, so I knew that was.
It's still vicious.
Yes.
And then we had the brain buster off the top rope, and then Seven actually kind of dives, like he kind of sidesteps and throws Bartel out of the ring, and then he dives down just like a weird splash to break up the pin. That desperate, but eventually we ended up with Mustache Mountain with that full Nelson into the Peter Pan off the ropes with the lariat into the Dragon Suplex and pinfall, and yeah, I kind of figured Mustache Mountain needed this win.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about this match, Noah?
I absolutely loved it. I love the tag team offense carried on by all 4 men. And just going at your point, you're definitely right on the fact I feel also that Mustache Mountain needed the win. I feel like at one point Trent Seven was literally showing cracks within his team's foundation, a lot of frustration.
Yes.
I was almost at the point that if Mustache Mountain lost here, it was going to lead to an eventual breakup. But I'm glad that Mustache Mountain won overall, and I still think Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner went over strong. And of course, Marcel Bartel, you had all his great sets with the kicks and stuff like that, barely saying anything, not cracking a smile, and saying, "Night!" like 7 times I counted. But overall, it was a great match, and we'll see where both these teams go from here.
Well, as far as TV goes, this is Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner's second loss in a row, because they lost on NXT to, who was it? The ones that are facing the grizzled young veterans.
Only Larkin and Danny Burch.
Yeah, Larkin and Burch.
That was also a great match, too.
They needed the win, too. So hopefully the next match we see Bartel and Eichner in, they win, because they're going to need it.
I don't think it'll be a match as much as them helping out a certain Walter.
They'll probably face Amir Jordan and...
there you go. God, something.
Kenny Williams.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to do that match again. That's the match... No, they didn't.
Would you rather see him face the Modifier and Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
Actually, I'd rather see them beat them, too. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
That would probably be a better match anyway.
Yep.
Especially with Manders in there. So, Colin, any other... I think I skipped over. You just like took over doing the play-by-play. Any other comments on the match?
What was it? The double team kick with the slam on Trent Seven before he hit the stunner.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
That was a nice double team move. That one really stood out to me. I put that down in my notes. And the double what was it, like the barrel kick?
Yeah, the rolling wheel kick.
Yeah, the double rolling kick. Yeah, that was nice. I always enjoy seeing Tyler Bate do that, but yeah,
Tyler Bates is always impressive.
Come out and play.
Yeah, we saw that once, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we saw that once. Yeah, always like seeing that come out too. No, overall it was a great match. Both teams look strong. You know.
Yeah, you had a couple of miscommunications with Eichner and Martel during this match.
Two of them.
A couple of
Yeah, there was two. Yeah,
there was some turning moments in this match.
There was a spot where you had Marcel Bartel in the corner, and I think it was Trent Seven working him over, and Fabian Eichner goes to kick Trent Seven, and he gets out of the way, and he kicks Marcel in the face. Well, when he got out of the way, Trent Seven just kind of ducked, and so when he gets up, he's underneath Fabian Eichner's leg, and he picks him up for a fucking bomb.
Yeah,
that was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
and then I think the other one, they were over. One of them's on the apron, and then again, I think it was Trent Seven on the other side, and then Fabian Eichner goes to hit him from behind and ends up hitting Bartel instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anything, it also points to maybe some cracks in Bartel and Eichner, but I think once you add Walter into the mix, those are gonna get sealed up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, even if Walter's not into it, they'll think he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, what did you think about the main event?
Well, I figured I'd go ahead and save that for like the 5 spots of TV.
Well, before we at least break it down before we go into rating.
Well, basically, like I said, I went into this match already expecting a great match, and that's exactly what I got. If anything, more. So, like, and just the strength of the show in general.
Yeah.
Like the matches were just beautiful, and for some reason the order just of them worked as well. Like we were at a fever pitch by the time we got to this match.
Yeah.
And sure enough, like it delivered. So hats off to NXT UK. Like they put on a hell of a show to make up for NXT the night prior. But
yeah.
But
thank God
yeah,
for that.
But between like Tyler Bate never ceases to impress me in some way, shape, or form. He always does something innovative in each of his matches that kind of make me think, well, damn, okay. And I can see it shows me more and more why he was the first NXT UK, or WWE UK champion.
Inaugural NXT UK champion. No, drop the WWE.
Yeah, seriously. They need to go ahead and just make
They need to.
I think it's something that like somebody should do eventually, is just rechristen the belt to be the NXT belt. Since
maybe that's what they're waiting on.
Since you can seemingly make a belt out of hemp now, you could probably change it to a different brand at least.
So that brings us to the end of the main event.
Yes, it does.
And around these parts on the NXT party, we rate the main event, not the show, just the main event, using NXT, good old T, as I get ready to take a swig here. So, as our special guests, let's go with Colin first. The Cleaver.
I'm going to give
how many spots of NXT do you give this show out of 5? And you can break it down into quarters. You can also go negative, although I don't think you're going to
go negative on this match.
You go negative on NXT.
No, I'm going to give this one a 4. 4 stars.
4 def.
It was a solid main event. A lot of good action. Couldn't go wrong with it. So it wasn't 5-star worthy, but it was definitely 4-star worthy. Great episode.
Noah.
I enjoyed the back and forth pace of this match. I feel like all 4 men showcased what they were capable of. The crowd never lost a moment. And I was also looking at, where can I see these teams go from here? What was the story going in? Because I am, like you, Steph, and I am thinking more about what's the story going in and what can be the story coming out of it. We're trying to rebuild Mustache Mountain from the incredible match they had a takeover, but they lost.
Right.
And Eichner and Martel, they are trying to become this legitimate tag team, possibly contending for the titles down the line.
And also trying to look legitimate in the face of Walter.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we could see Rincon forming, and we could see a proposed 6-person tag that we look forward to. Yeah, I'm going to go with UConn. It's a solid 4 for me.
Jerry?
Okay, so this is something I've actually discussed at length, and I actually went into this match thinking that Bartel and Eichner were going to win this match, and it was going to cause like a lot of friction within Mustache Mountain and a lot of frustration by the fact that they had been beaten by 2 teams that they pretty much called for. Like, they were telling everybody buddy up. Like, give us some challenges. And sure enough, they lost a tag title match to be the inaugural champions, and then for them to lose this match, that would only like build more frustration between them, possibly even split them up. Which right now, I guess, wouldn't be the time to do that because they're one of the only face teams that we actually have. But I even at the end of this match, after I finally saw Eichner, I think it was, get pinned, I wasn't upset with it because we had such a terrific showcase. It was like Tag Team 101. It was beautifully laid out, lots of tag team maneuvers, lots of physicality. Tyler Bate pretty much just about stealing the show as per usual, except for Eichner doing that, like catching Tyler Bate with that brain buster after the javelin throw from Eichner, from Bartel.
We had that spot where Bate just showcasing his strength. He always likes to showcase his strength. He gets out of a rear naked choke with a grapevine. He turns in place and then picks up, I think it was Bartel.
It was Eichner.
Oh, Eichner. It was Eichner. Picks up Eichner, so the heavier one.
Yes. That's what made it a little more impressive.
A suplex out of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, just based on all that and the fact that, I'm going to go ahead and say it kind of threw me the fact that Mustache Mountain actually did win. I actually gave it a 4 1/4. I'm actually going to go just a quarter higher just for that alone. So that's my feeling on it.
Well, my feeling is I agree with everybody because I agree with them that it was absolutely a 4-star main event. But per my rule, if it comes off of the back of an excellent show, extra quarter star. So I'm giving this main event an extra quarter, and that brings us to, I agree with you, 4 1/4 for this main event.
So all around awesome
Great.
episode.
But not 5-star. You could miss this.
Yeah.
But you definitely pat yourself on the back when you catch it. You know, you're happy you did because it was a great match.
You pat on the back like Tommaso Ciampa. What?
I just think I would have preferred to see Bartel and Eichner win. I'm on board with those guys.
But I was about to say I have to agree with Noah because I actually said the same sentiment. Mustache Mountain, they actually needed the win.
They did.
Eichner and Bartel, they're going places. We know this.
The win they need is to finish up the storyline with, as you guys talked about earlier, Mandrews and the man with 3 names, Flash Morgan Webster, because they still have that match to do. We thought that match was going to end up being on the the dark match for
we did have that.
Oh, we did have that.
Yeah, we had Eichner and Bartel went over.
Oh.
Correct. But it doesn't mean they can't face each other again. Like you said, there aren't enough face tag teams, but you're also trying to build Eichner and Bartel. But they lost to Mustache Mountain. You got to put them against some sort of decent opposition. And as much as we want to call Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams a tag team, what was their last big win?
So maybe the next big win is a 6-man tag.
The next big win was their only win.
So maybe Volter will take them in like lost sick puppies and help bring them back to greatness.
That'll be his own version of Hellhounds, more or less.
Well, there you go.
It surprised me.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT party. And Noah, do you have anything to plug?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, first-time viewers, NXT Galaxy, and wrestling fans far and wide. I'm just a simple man.
Yes.
And a lifelong fan of wrestling. If you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, look me up. You can follow me on Twitter, nodq.com/Noah. If you want to look me up on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel where I do monthly WrestleCrane unboxings, sometimes preview predictions, and even a retrospective on 205 Live every week called 205 Live Matters. You can look up my YouTube channel. It actually does have a link, as I found out. It's youtube.com/users/ I think Noah Fawcett 210 is the link. But it's also my Twitter, so you can find it there. But anyway, beyond that, just keep supporting NoDQ, folks. Go buy a shirt, nodq.com/shirts. Check out our playlist that has everything from the Beatles to Metallica, AC/DC to, I think, jazz now at this point. Just look up #TeamNoDQ. And as always, just keep following nodq.com for all the latest wrestling news, memes, rumors, humor, sexy female pics, and all other stuff in between. And as always, support your wrestling outlets, both big and small, and let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that.
All right. Mr. The Cleaver. Colin, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Colin26Andrew. Yeah, keep supporting NoDQ.com, Aftermatch Wrestling. Keep spreading the word on all this. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh,
Again,
absolutely.
Noah, it was nice having you on the panel as well. Getting to see you.
Nice to work with you, sir.
Noah, we gotta tell you this right quick. We wrapped up the NXT Takeover Phoenix review. We asked Colin who he wants to be on the screen with. First person he said, you.
Yeah.
So that he's like Ohio represent.
That's our goal. That's our goal. The more new fans that we get that actually want to come on and have a spot of NXT with us, our goal is to first put you just by yourself with us on an episode, and then the next time you want to be on, give you an opportunity to pick somebody from what we call the No DQ NX team.
Yep.
Can't guarantee you very many people from the actual team No DQ, but there's several of them on the NX team that love to do these videos, and sometimes it's just funner to have 4 of us.
Yep.
But assuredly, if you want to be on the show and have a spot of NXT with us, we will put you up here by yourself. All you have to do is find me on Twitter. You can go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stephan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. That is because I am the rated R reviewer, and you are going to hear the word fuck on this show. Even out of Noah.
Even out of Noah.
Saying. Just
You're
saying.
never going to live it down.
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at you.
You can also find this gentleman on Twitter.
At NoDQ General, and also on my Facebook group, Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point.
There we go.
All right. And you can find Stephen and I, we're both administrators on there, or just any other member of the No DQ
Yeah,
Galaxy.
just about everybody in the NX team is on there at least.
Yep, just look us up. We'll get you in there with wrestling memes, discussions, just all around shenanigans.
Yeah, I actually got to add somebody the other day, and I got to deny somebody because it was clearly a fake account.
Was that chick that's favorite wrestler was Ronda Rousey?
Possibly. It was a chick. You know when a chick with a super hot profile picture wants to join a wrestling website, you gotta at least look. And yeah, sure enough, that was.
I was about to say
denied.
It's like favorite wrestler Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that's how you're gonna get rejected right there.
That's how this guy denies your ass. I'm just saying.
Everyone else like, you're obviously not real. Freaking robots.
So if you'd like to join us in Armbar, again, all caps, ARMBAR,
exclamation point.
Yeah, that's Jerry's favorite part of the video, I think.
I love doing that.
So he gets it twice this week.
Yes.
So if you'd like to join us there, you can. If you like this video, click the like button. That's right underneath me. If you like all of our videos, click the subscribe button. That's right underneath Jerry. And if you'd like to get these videos something like a half a day early, I think is what we timed out, you can find my channel. That's Aftermatch Wrestling. Colin mentioned that earlier. All one word, Aftermatch, and then wrestling. And if I get 100 subscribers, I'm like 70 something away.
Mm-hmm.
But I promised you guys, if I get to 100 subscribers, we're going to start doing some of these videos live. That way maybe there's a chance there's somebody up at the wee ungodly hours of the morning that might want to watch us live and have questions. Our goal is to start doing it live, and then maybe we'll get some questions from you guys, and instead of doing these, hokey plugs at the end of the show, we'll actually answer questions from the fans. So if you're not ballsy enough to get up on the screen, maybe you can still get some questions in and get some airtime with your opinions on NXT and NXT UK. In the meantime, for the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, for the Simple Man, Noah Foster, for the General, Jerry Slaughter, I'm, of course, the Wizard of No DQ, Stephan Osborne, and we thank you for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you NXT time.
Cheerio.
Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.